Hey, it is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. It'll help out on my channel. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. In this video, I'm going to do a comparison between a digital download source and a vinyl LP record source of the Beyonce album Cowboy Carter. This is a 2-album record that I bought. And I did a comparison between the digital source, download source, and a vinyl LP record. I'm going to discuss my results in this video. I cannot play any of the music on my video because I don't want to have my video taken down because of copyright infringement, stuff like that, or whatever you call it. So I can't play them, but I'm going to describe them the best I can, what I heard. And I'm going to get into, first of all, I'm going to get into the album cover and the cover art for a second, and a couple of issues I have. Here's the front of the cover, the back of the cover. She's a beautiful lady, nice looking cover. There's the inside of the cover. One gripe I have is, like I said, you see the front of the cover, the back, and inside the cover. There's no song listings on the cover itself, none whatsoever. Also, there's no song listings on the labels. I'm going to show you a typical label. There's no song listings on the label itself. I'm so used to albums like this with the song listings on the back. For example, that's side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4. I'm so used to that type of setup, and also having the song listings on the album labels themselves. That way, when you're standing above your turntable, you can see the songs on the side of the album and go to a specific song of your choosing. You can't do that on this Beyonce album. Now, maybe I'm old and outdated, and maybe a lot of modern records are doing that. It doesn't mean I have to like it, because I don't. I'm just so used to the old school way. I think that's an issue. It'd be cool to see the song listings on the album. So when you're, like I said, standing above your turntable, you can select a specific song to go to instead of guessing. What you have to do is scan this code. And you can see the song listing in numerical order, by the way, on your phone, tablet, or other device. Another issue I had with this record is the records came in these paper type sleeves, which in my opinion are a hop, skip, and a jump better than fine sandpaper. I replaced mine with these more smoother audiophile grade sleeves that do no damage to the records, like some of those paper sleeves. Those paper sleeves can scratch up your records in a minute, man. I'd recommend doing that if you decide to buy this record. So those are the complaints I have about the album art. Although the album art is beautiful, it'd be cool if there are song listings on there. But like I said, maybe I'm a little bit outdated and out of touch. Fam, I guess it is what it is. But the digital source that I compared the vinyl LP source to was a digital download from HD Tracks, and the digital download was a 44.1 24-bit file. A 44.1 24-bit file. In comparison, a CD is 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz file. Just give you a comparison. The equipment that I used, the turntable was a Rega P8 turntable with a Apheta 3 cartridge. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later in this video. And the digital sources was a Sony Z1ES digital player. And that has an output, a digital output, to go to an external D to A converter, a DAC as we call them. And that elevates the sound quality. And that DAC is a Luxman DA-06 DAC. Those were the sources. And all the equipment that I use in this comparison can be seen in the description below. One other thing I would like to point out is the digital download file is a 27 track download. Now, some of those downloads are brief interludes, as my son likes to call them. They're brief interludes that might be like a minute or less long. But it's 27 tracks on the digital download. The album, 19. I have an issue with that, and I'm going to get to that in a minute too. But there's only so many albums songs you can fit on a 2 LP set. But here's the differences that I noticed between listening to the vinyl LP source record and the digital download. The digital download was higher in volume, number one. The digital download was more deeper in bass, but it was done at the sacrifice of detail. Where it was the album, the vinyl LP album was a little bit leaner on the treble side. And it did represents the frequencies very well, in my opinion. The treble frequencies and the bass frequencies adequately on the vinyl LP album. I think this is what I heard. The detail was more elevated. The detail of the voice, the detail of the instruments, the detail of the cymbal hits, the drums, the backup singers. Everything with the detail, dimension, and sound stage was elevated on the vinyl LP source versus the more treble intensive digital source. The things like echo and delay and was more prominent on the record, the vinyl record, versus the digital source. The digital source sounded fine, it really did, but not as great, not as grand, not as detailed, not as dimensional. The depth was more wider and more discernible on the vinyl LP record than the digital source. Like I said, the digital source is fine. The LP source is an elevated listening experience. If you have a very nice stereo setup, I had to emphasize that. My turntable was a Rega P8 turntable with a Apheta 3 cartridge. Now that cartridge cost $2,200. I get the impression that the average Beyonce fan may not have that type of setup, and there's nothing wrong with that. The main point of the music is enjoy the music. You don't always have to listen to it in an audiophile type setup. So perhaps the digital download for the average Beyonce fan, I should say, might be quite fine, because the digital download sounds very good. I think the album sounds better. And also the digital download has 27 tracks, while the album has 19, so you're sacrificing that if you buy the album. But it just depends on where you sit in terms of the way you like to listen to music. If you want depth, dimension, and sound stage, more realism, more of a grander, more detailed listening experience, I would opt for the vinyl LP record. If you want something, because this sounds better than the digital download to me. If you want something that sounds very good and you get all the 27 tracks, the digital download is fine. But in summary, the vinyl LP record sounds more detailed, more dimensional, more realistic on a very good stereo setup than the digital download. I would choose the vinyl record over the digital download. However, there's 19 songs on this album, and one of my favorite songs is not on this album, and that is, for example, the song Daughter is on this album. It sounds amazing on this vinyl LP record. It sounds good on digital download, sounds better on the record. The song Ya Ya, which I like on the digital download, sounds great. It's not on this record, and I was looking forward to listening to it in a vinyl LP record format. Ya Ya is not on there, and I thought that was a disappointment to me. It'd be cool if they would include that song on the version of the record I have. That's another disappointment I have. But the album, the vinyl LP record, sounds great. It really does. The digital download sounds good, very good. But the album is an elevated listening experience on my system. Now, will that apply to all systems? I cannot guarantee that. All I can guarantee is what I heard on my system, and the album sounds great on my system. Thank you very much for viewing my video. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. God bless, strong love, and keep the peace worldwide.